Meet Jasper, a 1.5-year-old, fully flighted, hand-fearing conure. He's also known for biting, and he does target, but he just really avoids hands because of his overwhelming fear. Jasper was purchased with his conure friend Phoenix, and because they were always housed together and did everything together, naturally Phoenix was more brave than Jasper. Jasper just kind of seemed to get away with doing nothing. And a year later, after his human has had him, for literally a year, he still fears hands and won't even step up. Right off the bat, after hearing what's going on with Jasper, we're pretty worried about working with him in the space that we currently have. As you can see, the ceilings kind of keep going, and there's a lot of places a bird can fly up and hide in up there. We're really not willing to take the chance, so we move into another area, and thank goodness we do. Well, I'm glad we moved to this room.
Where are we?
Will he respond to your hand better if you showed a treat? Or if you used a target?
Grab next. Yeah.
With fearful birds, it's really important you don't just try to catch them or capture them in a space like this. You want to let them get used to the space. You want to offer for them to come to you if they want to. You want to coax them to come to you if they are willing to, but you don't want to force them in this situation because it just sort of exacerbates their fear response. I think it's also important to mention that Jasper's human does have him on our seasonal feeding system and getting 12 hours of sleep, which is super ideal for building his foundations, but he is on a pretty filling pellet of Harrison's, and so we are kind of expecting low food motivation today for working for treats.
Want some?
Want to set him back down on the back? Awesome.
I'm gonna show that interaction again because it was so instinctively good. What Jasper's human did here is she presented the treat and said, hey, do you want to step up? She asked a question with all of her body language. I love that she took a second and presented the treat and said, hey, this is what's in it for you. Do you want to do this? Then she gave him time to respond by putting his foot up, and then she went in. This is just beautiful communication. Now you may be wondering why Dave instructed her to put him immediately back down, and it's because we want to build trust and confidence, and we immediately saw that Jasper was uncomfortable with being taken out of this situation. By putting him immediately back down on the chair, it is building confidence and trust in repetition. It also gives him a second to take in his surroundings a little bit and refresh his memory that she is familiar and safe in this brand new environment. And it gives him a second to finish his millet. Did you feel how tense he got as you moved him away from the chair?
Yeah, he started to lean back. He didn't even want to take it at first.
Yeah. So that tells me that you probably moved even a little bit too fast on that first repetition, and I think he was reacting to you immediately getting him and pulling him so far away. So just be really in tune with that and try to stick within a successful ratio of that, where you're pushing but not pushing to the extent that it's really obvious with him leaning back and being like, this is very uncomfortable.
So should I grab the clicker and the stick, or should I just work with my hand?
I would do what you're just doing now. I'll click for you and see if we can get like 3 to 5 good repetitions.
Okay. Okay.
And back.
Good.
Awesome.
So that time it was a little bit more subtle because he just looked back at the chair versus doing the exaggerated lean.
So right now you're getting him to step up and you're getting him to here where he's eating the millet, right? Mm-hmm. But then he's like, okay, heck yeah, let me get back down. And although we're getting what we wanted, we want to now extend this.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is do the same thing, click, and before you're giving him the treat, start to kind of meet him for the treat here.
Okay.
So you're bringing the treat and the bird to this point, but you're clicking where you have been, and then we're finishing it by bringing him to the millet further away.
Okay. And then should I put him back down or wait to see if he's uncomfortable?
Read his body language, because we don't want to blow out the fact that he stepped up, but we want to get him to realize he has to come to here to get the treat. He gets clicked here, but he has to come here to get the treat.
Okay.
And once he's clicked, he's going to be looking for the treat, so we have this little window of opportunity to bring him closer to get the treat.
Okay. I'm right here, buddy. Ready? Yeah, that was okay. Do that better next time.
So a little smoother, a little slower,
Yeah, a little slower.
and he'll be more receptive to it.
Especially going back should be a little slower.
I think I brought the treat too close in the beginning anyway.
Yeah, he's definitely filling up. You are.
You ready?
You take big old bites.
She didn't say you were a fatty or anything. She just said, you know, you're filling up.
Nice. Offer him one more bite. See how he got calm?
You are greedy.
Now put him back. So you see how you can begin to extend that behavior. So your click was a little late, but you would click where you were, and then you bring him to you to get a little treat, and then occasionally give him a bonus.
Okay. Oh, that was late.
So in that case, when he got a little hesitant, you could have brought the food closer to reintroduce calm.
Okay.
And then bring it a little closer if you need to. See how he was a little nervous, then it decreased. Seems pretty content. And set him back.
Sweet.
Where you want to go, buddy?
Yeah, actually, I'm still pretty happy. So slowly bring him forward to give him a little more treat.
Nice. He's becoming a lot more
really
content.
looking at the treat.
Yeah, he's becoming a lot more content and confident.
And now put him back.
I saw that.
Awesome. And we'll end on that because that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good. So you could see in very minimal repetitions how quickly Jasper went from fearful, wanting off the hand at all costs immediately, as quick as possible, to content on the hand. This is a really big deal. And this is how easy it can truly be if you set yourself up for success and you read the body language. That's something that's happening in this video that we don't normally see. Most people struggle reading their bird's body language. I think this video is a great depiction of somebody reading their bird's body language beautifully. And she's able to pick out little things that she did right or wrong, some things that maybe need a little bit of work after every single repetition, and she was able to adjust and modify and adapt so that Jasper could succeed better and better on the very following repetitions. This is something that I just love to see and really, really makes me feel good about a bird and human relationship. This is beautiful communication, and you can tell that they're truly building something. I also think the other thing that has Jasper set up in this environment is not having his conure buddy to lean on or depend on or to rely on. When you have two birds that have been housed together for their entire lives, they really start to depend on each other, and naturally one's going to be more brave than the other, and so the less brave one is going to lean on that brave one, and that can be really detrimental to forming a relationship with the fearful one. So this is a great environment that just focuses on Jasper and his relationship, his body language, overcoming his fear without the distraction of another bird. So although the chair training was going great, it's a very slippery surface, and so we decided to switch over to her vet wrapped training stand. Now this stand is not at an ideal height. If you guys are interested in the perfect training stands, we've developed them specifically for parrots, and they are available on our website, suitable for all sizes of birds. So we may struggle with the height of this stand, but we're hoping that Jasper struggles less with the fact that it's grippy instead of slippery.
Now he's excited.
So
I think it's the height, and I think it's the possessiveness of the perch because he's comfortable with it. And possessive's not the right word, but he's super comfortable with the perch.
Jasper's human is getting upset with herself because she feels like she's getting bit because she's not reading the body language. But I actually think that she's great at reading body language. So I offer to step Jasper up and have her tell me, as if I'm an inexperienced bird owner, when to back off and when to go forward. And she ends up directing me beautifully where I don't get bit. And that just goes to prove she does know what she's doing. Closer or further away?
I'm thinking probably further. But he's excited for the millet, but he's eyeing you. And now he just turned his back, so that's a no-go.
Okay, so how would I see if I should get closer?
Maybe showing the treat.
Mm-hmm. Closer or further away?
Closer.
Closer or further away?
Further away, he's...
Very good.
He's
Very
starting
good.
to-
So you are good at reading
Okay.
because you didn't allow me to get bit.
Okay.
And he's more exaggerated with me because he's more comfortable with me. But I thought you read that great.
Okay, good.
You read that great. So it's not that you're bad at reading. It might be that you're a little too close in the moment and you're not as good at like slowing and breaking it down. But again, having those conversations with him and reading his body language out loud, I think is going to be really helpful to you.
Okay, I will do that.
Can I just say this kitchen makes you look really tall, Jamie?
Really?
Yeah. Can you touch the ceiling?
So tall.
Alright, you wanna do it?
Sorry. She doesn't want to be on camera. Where are you going?
Yeah, you're done. Will you step up for me?
See how much easier it is when he doesn't own the perch?
Mm-hmm.
You're the most familiar thing at that
When
point.
he gets angry, he does like to rip up that bed tape that I have on there.
Yeah, I think all of that says that you should be using that stand for training. If the vet wrap, like 90% of the time, leads to when you mess up in training, I kill the vet wrap,
Yeah.
then I think I would use a stand that doesn't require vet wrap.
It is made out of wood, but my fear is that he likes to chew on wood, which is totally fine. It makes his teeth feel good, but I didn't want him to destroy the stand.
It'll be the same thing. It'll be like, if this was your face.
Oh, yeah.
When I worked a really super aggressive macaw in Florida, we only used the metal T-stand
Okay.
so that the passive aggressive behavior of absolutely shredding the 2x4 stands that the people had made for it couldn't be self-reinforcing because chewing on a piece of metal, it did nothing for the bird.
Yeah.
And so we were able to redirect everything to exactly what we wanted and eliminate the variables of this getting reinforced.
So should I probably just be working on stepping up or other things with target training to get him used to me, or?
I think more stepping up personally, but I don't think that like target training or trick training would hurt your relationship by any means. But I think that in the very beginning of the session, it should be more this based because his motivation is going to be at the highest.
Okay.
And then as his motivation decreases, obviously the targeting and trick training is easier because it's hands off. So he's going to be more willing to do it.
You are ready, huh? Can you step up? Thank you. And you're done.
So yeah, and if you find that like, oh, his motivation just kind of sucks today, I can only get away with targeting, then just do targeting. But I think
bad days too. So.
Yeah, I think that doing the trick training is only going to make it so that you get more confident in your ability of reading him. Because you do a good job. I just think it might be when you feel under pressure that you start feeling like you need to have a certain outcome. So yeah, that's how I would say it. It's like none of it will be bad for your relationship. It'll all improve it, just at different rates.
Okay. And that's kind of also why I wanted him free flighted, so that way he really could get away if he wanted to. They have their own rooms, so even though we have like cats and dogs, they're not constantly in danger or anything. So I just wanted him to feel like he could get away at any point.
Yeah, and that's really helpful for this species because otherwise, fight or flight, if you take away flight, you're going to have a really aggressive bird who's always going to be on the defense.
That's a huge...
controversial.
The controversial thing in the bird world. So.
Yeah. Well, not in this room. We're all on the same page.
Okay.
I don't know why it is. They're born with wings.
I prefer them flighted, yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like we don't amputate our kids just for fun.
That's true.
You're not going nowhere, kid.
Right?
He's a baby boy. Want to step up?
See how enthusiastic these are now? He's like so stoked about it, he almost falls every time.
But then I feel like he really wants to just get back down, so.
Which is okay, because the more you're initiating the back down, you're not like, he's not having to like fly or retreat or bite you anymore or put his head down to get back down. So if anything, the more responsive you are to his subtle body language cues, the more he'll trust you to be responsive to those, and he'll start hanging out longer.
Ready? Thank you.
Yeah, it looked good. It was done.
Was that good?
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Because if you think about it, in the very beginning, he was having to like bite you, 3 to 4 times to get you to do something? And even then, you weren't actually going to take your hand away until I was like, go!
I have done a lot of research, and so some people say if you pull away, it is telling the bird, I guess, no matter what you do, or the bird, every time it bites, it's going to get what it wants. But some people then say, well, then you don't want to teach your bird that.
So whenever you're pushing an irrational fear like that, like he shouldn't be afraid of your hands, it's mentally taxing to him. So you're going to see these like kind of worn out. If your goal is to get him to be okay being on your hand, and you always only train that, you're going to burn him out, because he'll associate training with like, oh, I can do through that again, because he's overcoming so much. So it's really important that you'll throw in some targeting, some spins, some short hops, whatever he does already know well, that you don't have to touch him and he doesn't have to overcome that mental struggle to get through, is going to really help set you up for success. So he associates training with fun and earning treats, and not just this like mentally taxing thing that you guys do every single time he sees you.
Okay. Where you going?
He's like, hey, remember that thing we did where he gave me food?
Yeah, I bet, but you look tired.
Yeah, he's definitely done.
Yeah, we asked a lot of him.
And it's, honestly, everybody goes through that, whether they're on camera or not. Like those kind of there's so much information that we're throwing all at once. And so we'll try to do things to like help here, help there, I'll click for you, but eventually it all comes together. And just really think through before you get into it, like, okay, what do I want of this session? I'm going to take them out, I want 5 reps, here's what I think they'll look like, here's my plan B, and then here's how I intend to get them back in the cage. And if you have all of that, then you're more likely to have a great, clear, intentional training session where you're making progress that's measurable, rather than taking it out and having no idea what's happening and things go backwards.
Okay.